Hello, everybody.
I'm gonna put us up there.
We are live on YouTube for the first time in many months.
It's been a year.
It's been a long, long time.
I think the last one we did. Let's wait for people to come on.
Come on, people.
They were waiting for us.
We're talking about pigs today. And
Can you put us on?
I've been raising pigs since
Hi.
I was
Let's give everyone a minute to come on.
21 years old. We're getting set up here. We had some kind of technical difficulties.
Oh, okay, never mind. Okay. Hey, Rose. Thank you for coming on. Rose from Wholesome Roots is here. She is moderating. She has a great channel, Wholesome Roots. You should check it out. Hi. Oh, Closer to the Land. Hi. Please chime in because you are a wealth of information.
We are testing out our new internet tonight. We've really struggled with doing live streams in the past because our internet has been so terribly slow. So we'd love to get some feedback as to how the stream is coming across for y'all. Throughout the evening, we'll probably be on here for no more than an hour. We'll shut things down at 10 o'clock so everyone can get to bed, so they can get up and do their chores in the morning. You ready? Can I talk about pigs now?
Okay, yeah, you can talk about pigs now.
So we kind of have a funny background with pigs. And I'll get to that. Tonight we want to talk about what we know, which is our experience and things that we like about the breeds of pigs that we've raised, how we're raising our pigs now, what we plan to do with our pigs now and in the coming months, what we've learned recently at the Rose butchering class, and also I would kind of like to talk about the potential of the pig on a really small homestead. Do we need to fix him being a moderator?
Jason, can you say something so that I can click on you and try to make you one again? Because I thought I made you one.
He just did scroll.
Oh.
So we've got some moderators.
Sorry, let us work this out, guys. Just a minute. Where?
Jason from Sow The Land is moderating. Part-time Permies are moderating tonight. And Rose from Wholesome Roots is moderating.
Oh, there he is.
And we will link all of their channels in the description. All three of them have great YouTube channels. They're all very different. There's a lot to learn.
Okay, Jason, it should be fixed now.
If you don't know about those channels, definitely check them out. We'll link them in the description as soon as we're done with this video. I think we should start briefly with...
For some reason, it didn't. Hold on. Sorry, we're still figuring it all out.
Okay.
Where did she go?
So we'll start with our experience, our earliest experience with pigs. When I was 21 years old, I bought some pigs to raise. I had been to a one hog butchering, and I was really acutely interested in raising pigs for meat. And so I went out and I bought 2 feeder pigs. I bought them from a local farm. They were about 6 weeks old. This is usually how most people encounter pigs for the first time, is they buy 1 or 2 weaned feeder pigs. I raised them for about 8 months, maybe 9 months more, and they were enormous. They were huge. They were 400 pounds plus. And Brianna and I actually connected on the day we killed those pigs. It was just after my 21st birthday, and I invited her out to a pig killing.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I've been distracted. I'm sorry. We can get back to that in a second, but someone mentioned that we have another live stream going. Jason, is it still going, the other live stream?
I'll fix that. You talk about our chickens and pigs.
Okay, that'll work. Thank you for bearing with us, guys, on trying to figure out how to do this. It's been a while, and things have changed, actually, on the platform, too. Yeah, so he invited me to a pig butchering. It was actually, I went to his birthday party. I didn't really know him. And I was like, yes, I would love to come butcher pigs with you. I don't know why I was interested in that.
Because you liked me.
I didn't like you yet. I had a boyfriend. Anyway, so yeah, so he invited me and I came. Was this your first butchering? You just answered that, but I can't believe I don't know that.
This was my very first time killing pigs.
That you had raised.
Yeah, just a couple weeks after my 21st birthday.
Yeah, so the ones you had raised, it was your first time, the ones you had raised. Yeah, so I came and I basically fell in love with Arthur there, which is just really funny. But I'm sorry, I'm so distracted by the technical aspect of this, but I'm going to try to zone in here. So, yeah, thank you, Jason, for letting me know. Now I can focus. Yeah, exactly. You can't eat the grass. I wasn't single yet. So I had a boyfriend, and I went to his pig butchering, and I did break up with my boyfriend like a week later, because I really just kind of fell in love with Arthur. He used to wear overalls all the time, and he had all these overalls and these big boots, and I don't know, I just thought that was really attractive. And I scraped the head for head cheese, which he found really attractive.
That is attractive.
So, those are our humble beginnings. So that was your first hog butchering, raising your own hogs.
Yeah, and those pigs were, I think, a Berkshire, maybe Berkshire Tamworth cross. They were kind of they were a cross between two large, lean hogs. And I fed them a ton of food. And when I say a ton of food, I literally mean if you raise out 2 pigs, you'll feed them a ton of food. If you raise them out kind of in the conventional way of raising pigs, which is you feed them a grain-based diet for all of their food. You keep an eye on super chats and make sure you address comments if they are leaving comments for their super chats.
So do we say hi when they do that?
CJ Fishtails, thank you for the super chat. Yes, we say hi. That's how you do it.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know.
Sometimes there'll be a comment with it. So we've never done super chat before. We definitely will shout everyone out if they leave a super chat or address those comments.
I'm so sorry, you guys. Technology is not my realm of knowledge.
Yeah, everyone thinks that we would be tech people because we have a YouTube channel and we do video editing and stuff, but we really are not. We never have been. I don't know if we ever will be. Neither one of us are. I don't know how to use computers. I do know how to edit videos.
Only because we learned how to edit videos. Anyway, okay, back to pigs.
1 ton of food for... Alright, we're back. We're back on the same one. The phone just cut off. So, after a long period of presumed buffering, we are back. It basically takes 1,000 pounds of food to raise out 1 pig. And That's what you have to figure on. And that is one of the reasons that we wanted to try raising a different breed of hog. Pigs eat huge volumes, but they need it because they grow really, really fast. So you think about a 6 to 8 month old animal getting up towards 300 pounds, maybe 270 to in the 300-pound range, definitely 300-pound range for an 8-month animal. That's a huge amount of growth that's happening.
That's true.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, my baby is 10 months old and he weighs, what, 20 pounds?
Yeah. It's just unreal when you think about it. So that really flies in the face to me. It flies in the face of this idea of a pig being an efficient animal to keep on your homestead, and it made us want to try something different, basically. Is your phone plugged in?
Should be.
I don't think it is.
Okay, this isn't going that well, but it will get better.
I think. What is the age pigs can start to breed? That's a fine question.
I don't actually know.
They can breed really young. I mean, I think you could breed a 6-month-old, but I can't really tell you what the ideal age to breed. They come into sexual maturity really, really fast, though.
But coming into sexual maturity and raising like a healthy breeding sow are totally different things.
Yeah. As with basically all animals.
So,
People.
have we ever raised any Gloucester Old Spots? No, but it's actually the next breed that we would like to try. I personally want to stick with American Guinea hogs because I really love them. But, oh, that was you. But, we want to try some things too. So we heard that Gloucester Old Spots are really good. If you guys don't already listen to Farmstead Meatsmith, he has a podcast, a YouTube channel, and an Instagram. I highly recommend his education. Like, the information that he gives out, and tons of it is free, is worth your time. So I just highly recommend that. But he highly recommends Mangalisas and Gloucester Old Spots. That's what he grows, the Gloucesters, right? The Old Spots.
Well, the Mangalisas, I can't even say it. That's a unique pig, and that kind of brings us into lean versus lard pigs, which I know a lot of y'all are familiar with this. But basically, if we wanted to simplify it, there's basically two types of pig breeds, and there's lard breeds and there's more lean breeds, and the Mangalisas are on the extreme end of the lard breeds. They're on the extreme lardy, fatty end of the lard breeds. I wouldn't say that's for everyone. I don't know if he recommends breeding them. Raising them. He talks about.
Oh, okay.
He loves them, but he loves them for their salubrious fat. And that's the word I learned
from his word.
Farmstead Meatsmith, salubrious. It's I don't know what it means yet, but it's a good word, and you can use it to describe fat and pork. It means it's good and rich and beautiful. But I would say he's not saying that's for everyone. There's actually challenges that come with raising lard pigs. If you take a lard pig to a standard butcher shop that's never dealt with one before, they're not going to necessarily know what to do with this much back fat. Do you leave huge slabs of fat on your pork chop? If you're selling that meat, is one of your customers going to want to get a 2-inch slab of fat on their pork chop? Probably not. So that comes down to just this big challenge of how to appropriately butcher them and then use them in the kitchen. And that's one thing he really brings out, is how do you take unique heritage breeds that might be lard breeds, and take them from a carcass to your table and use them in a really honoring fashion. We have never raised coonies.
No, we have friends that have a pair of coonies. They're cute. I think our biggest, for us, the reason we did not get coonies, because they would have been really fun to try. But I think for us, it was around here, it was the price. So we were going to have to pay $500 per pig. And that is, for us, an exorbitant amount of money. It's just way too much money for pork. It's not, I'm not saying it's not worth it. I'm not saying that they're not probably great pigs. And actually, I have to say, like, you know, whenever we got American guinea hogs, we got them under the assumption, I don't know if it was an assumption, it was an educated assumption, that they didn't till very much. And I have to say that that isn't true.
American guinea hogs?
Yeah.
I didn't believe that for a minute.
Well, I did. I hoped it.
They're pigs.
But coonies really don't. I mean, at least the ones we've seen, like, the ones we've seen, our friends keep them in like 2 different paddocks, and they just move them from one to the other, and they literally do not till up the ground. There's like one little spot. They have their one little spot where they make themselves a wallow. Though, you know, I'm on all these American guinea hog boards, and I read a lot about them, and I'm realizing that like some will till less than others, and then or root, I guess, and then also it just depends on how much land they're on and all these things. But you know, our dream was pastured pork, and I think that what we've realized is, like, first of all, we don't have enough land for that, at least right now, and then second of all, I think our new vision for our pigs eventually, we're not there yet, is to fence in a portion of our woods and try that. But for now, we're just doing it the old-fashioned way, which is keeping them in a pen of mud, which is what we didn't want to do. But we're just thankful to be able to raise our own meat.
Yeah, I would take issue with that description of how we keep our pigs.
I'm sorry, he's the pig man, and here I am putting it down. I
work really hard to make sure they have a dry place.
That's true. They have very dry, clean house, but their like paddock is muddy because it's been winter. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Yeah, it's definitely muddy. If you put pigs somewhere, especially when it's raining, like in this weather, they will make a trash mess of mud in the area. I think we should talk about our pigs for a minute. So I've seen quite a few questions.
Okay.
And we have American guinea hogs, and they are a small lard breed of pigs. Yes, we've had a ton of rain.
We have had. It's actually the rainiest year on record.
I look worn out, Wasteland Acres, because I just got off a 12-hour shift.
You did.
In nursing. I feel great, but I am tired. I'll go to bed after this. The American guinea hog, many of you know, some of you don't. They're just a small lard breed of pigs. So they max out, actually I don't know exactly where, but 300-400 pounds, about a third or smaller of many of the larger breeds. So they're significantly smaller than, say, a Yorkshire or a Berkshire.
I don't know how to. Why don't I just... How do I check it without turning off the live?
We're having
such bad technical difficulties. We won't have this problem next time. Let's see if I unplug it. And then I plug
Maybe
it
I'm wrong. Okay. So basically, we picked these pigs out
I think you're right,
because they're easy to manage and they're small. And we also picked them because we wanted to keep a breeding pair of hogs. And we thought, and I think this is true, that there was no way we were going to keep a full-size breeding pair of hogs. say, an 800 or 1,000-pound boar. There's no way we were going to maintain that here. So we gave it a go with the American guinea hogs. In the end, we decided we didn't want to keep. All right, sorry you guys for the technical difficulties. In the end, we decided that we didn't want to keep a breeding pair, but that we did like the American guinea.
This is so bad. Can we just all laugh for a minute?
Everybody laugh. How do you laugh?
Everybody just laugh, please.
All right, everyone's laughing. This is so much. I really am having fun. I'm not stressed out by this. I think it's hilarious.
I'm the one that gets stressed by this stuff.
So we got these pigs. How many pigs? Someone's asked how many pigs. Let's go
Wait,
some basic
How many pigs do we own right now?
We have 6 pigs right now.
We have 6.
We sold quite a few. We sold the breeding pair. We have 6 pigs. 2 are about 12, 13,
They're
13,
almost 14 months.
Yeah, almost 14 months old. Kind of the ideal age.
It's the ideal age from what we've read. It's the ideal age for butchering American guinea hogs. So we were going to butcher them back in January, and we changed our minds after I read that. And then someone asked, there's been a few questions about our breeding pair. Why did we get a breeding pair? Why did we sell our breeding pair? Things like that. So we bought a breeding pair because I would really like for us to be able to complete the full cycle on our homestead. But the reason we sold them was because we really aren't set up to have enough places for pigs to be. So what we found is, like, she would have a litter, and as she had litters, we needed to have different, we needed to be able to separate her sometimes so she wasn't always being bred. We needed to have just different places for different pigs, and we just couldn't, it was too much shuffling around for now. The other thing was the feed. Though, honestly, since selling them, I have learned a lot. I should say, have learned a lot about feeding American guinea hogs, and realize now we are actually feeding them too much, and we could have significantly saved on feed costs.
To address a comment here, you can't eat the grass. Said I'd love to have pigs, and you can't eat the grass. I'm happy to tell you that many pigs actually can eat the grass, and ours love to.
They do love grass. What was her question?
She said I'd love to have pigs. It's not a question.
Oh.
Yeah.
You can't eat the grass. Y'all should check her out. She is an amazing gardener. She has a beautiful Instagram as well, and I'm pretty sure she has a YouTube. So check her out for gardening inspiration. You can't eat the grass.
So we have moderated the amount. We found feeding all those pigs to be quite expensive. And then we've learned a lot more about lard hogs. And a lot of that was through Farmstead Meatsmith's extended podcast talks. And I've kind of come to see the lard pig as an animal that is able to thrive and actually miraculously create fat out of a very small amount of food. And so I've moderated the amount that I'm feeding all of them and kind of ratcheted it down a little bit. I'm keeping them a little more hungry, especially the pigs that we're planning on killing. We have at least two, that we're not going to do until next year. Mm-hmm. And so I don't want to be just dumping food, i.e. money, into those pigs if it's not going to benefit us, when I can maintain them and they can still grow on a much smaller amount of food. We're not starving them by any means. They're fat and sassy still, but they are, we're growing them towards kind of a goal weight almost a year from now, with a lot less food. So we just went to a hog butchering class at Justin and Rebecca Rhodes' house, and it was put on in part by Part-Time Permies. Thank you, Part-Time Permies. Thank you, Michael. We had an awesome time getting to know you all, and learned a ton.
Could be Cindy.
I'm sorry.
Good.
Yeah, we don't know who's there. Cindy or Mike. It's probably Cindy.
It's probably Cindy.
So that was a 3-day class, and we were there setting up the day before and kind of taking down the day afterwards. And I have broken down pigs before. Hogs, I should say. I did one of those that was 400 pounds when I was 21, and it was kind of a disaster.
When he says broken down, for those that don't know, he means like cut it into its pieces for, like, literally butchering it, not just killing it and skinning it and eviscerating it. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, cutting it into small pieces so you can put it in the freezer so it'll fit in a cooking pot. And that is the goal of butchering. Again. So I've done it. And we ate it all. My family. Not Brianna and I. Actually, my parents and siblings. And then so with the pigs we have now, I actually planned to take them to a local butcher shop after we had killed them. And then I realized that this was something I really wanted to learn. So we definitely were going to say yes to Justin to come out to his class, and we did that. And I honestly will say, coming out of the class, really confident in breaking them down myself, and learned a lot about sausage, different preparations, head cheese, liverwurst, and I want to, and we talked about bacon. I've cured bacon before, learned more though, and I want to learn more about curing. So I really am kind of digging into this and really excited about it. So we'll definitely be doing our own butchering for our pigs.
Are we? For sure.
Are you joking?
Well, no. Because, well, there's a few things to work out. I mean,
like,
we can...
There's like this build music in the background. I'm talking about my confidence, my learning, and you're just like, wait a second.
Not because we couldn't do it. I think, yeah, because we don't have all the stuff. Like, butchering setups are very expensive. And, wow, thank you so much, Half Moon Homestead. That was really cool. Okay, so I want to make a video about this, about how much it costs to homestead and, like, the different levels. But something that's very expensive is butchering setups. Of course, we can do simple butchering, and that's what we've always done in the past. But after having experienced the efficiency and the just joy it is to have all of the things that you need to butcher, like a plucker for chickens, or like, you know, a meat grinder for pork and sausage. So, you know, we're still not sure exactly how we would work all that out. And it could be that we do end up just killing our hogs and sending them to an actual butcher. But it could be that we can work out a butchering setup. But I think Arthur's determined to do at least one hog himself all the way, right?
I'm doing all of them myself. Oh. We've talked about this. I don't know.
Okay, never mind.
Can we just pause this for a minute and have a little...
We need to have a marital conversation right now.
Have a little huddle here. All right, someone asked, relevant question, when am I taking Bree on a European vacation?
We want to go to Sweden. So if anyone wants to supply the finances for that trip, we want to go see our friends at Swedish Homestead.
No, that is something we'd like to do in the future, and I think we'll be able to, actually. So, Sow the Land asks, how many pigs would you kill at once? And that's a fine question, Jason. So, I think that I want to do 1 and 2s at a time. And I want to do 1 when I'm planning on doing as much as possible. As much as possible.
Wow, thank you again. That was really kind.
On 1 pig. You gotta shut people out. Names.
Thank you, Half Moon Homestead and Sabrina Coffee is really kind. Sorry.
I I want to do 1 pig, and I want to do as much as we possibly can. I knew this already, and it was affirmed to me at the Rhodes event, and that is everything that you can do with 1 pig is more work than a dozen newbies can do in a day. If you're going to make every product that you can possibly make and cure everything on even just 1 pig, it's a huge amount of time to do that. If you want to use as much of the carcass, as much of the animal as you can, it's a ton of work.
Mm-hmm.
And folks who did this in the past, it was just second nature to them. It was like generational knowledge. It wasn't just, they've been doing it since they were a kid. They learned from experts. They were trained by experts every single fall. They had extensive training through their whole youth. And so we haven't had that, and none of our friends have. So we're talking about inviting a bunch of our friends over. This would be a first-time thing for most of them, and I would say we're still learning. We're still learning and figuring this out. So yeah, that's how I want to do 1 of them. I want to take 1 of them and do everything that we can do with it, within reason. And then the other 2 that we're going to go to the freezer, the one we're trading for that for
our deep
for
freezer.
the freezer, with your brother, we can do those in a day. We can break them down and freeze them in a day, I think.
Well, and I think he wants to do it. He just wants to.
Yeah.
He wants to actually take it home, I think, and.
Oh.
Well,
cool.
I don't know. Like,
well, he wants to do it there at his house or here. So.
Okay, so Amy Creed keeps asking, what will we do with all the fat from the AGH? We're gonna cook with it. I know some people say make soap, or I don't know. Can you make candles from it? Probably, but I probably won't make soap. I mean, maybe that'd be something good to learn. But I really just want to cook with it. I'll probably also trade with it. I do a lot of trading, bartering with people, and some homegrown lard is pretty good currency around here. So, yeah. I mean, that's my plan. Maybe I will make some soap after I see how much lard I get back. But I've been learning to cook with lard the last few weeks. I was given some by a friend, and Arthur rendered it for me. So I made some pumpkin muffins today, and I used lard, and they're great. Because we're actually, anyways, you don't need to know our dietary concerns, but we're not eating dairy right now.
Would I ever? So Ethan has asked, what would I get for a first pig? What would I get? I honestly don't think it matters, and I recommend this. This is kind of a little bit of a change of topic. I recommend that you get a pig. Samson Farms is helping us fund our trip to Sweden. $2. Thank you so much.
You could actually, it could fund your trip to a charcuterie class.
Yeah, that's actually very reasonable. There's a class coming up in the area, kind of like a very in-depth class on charcuterie. For those of you who don't know what that is, that's just cured meat. Cured meat,
but it teaches you how to use the whole hog. So yeah, I mean, it's coming up pretty soon. I don't know if we'll get there, but we're trying to get Arthur to that class. Sorry, I interrupted you again.
No, I'm not objecting to you. Catherine Ward says, is processing a hog a smelly process? I think that's a good question. The answer is yes. It doesn't necessarily smell bad, though. If you do things right, especially. It can get ugly, but when you open up the carcass of an animal, there is a unique odor that is inside. You never come in contact with that space unless you take a knife or a scalpel and cut something or someone open. And so that's a totally unique space. It's never exposed to the air, and you just don't come in contact with it. It's a weird smell. It's a very strong, earthy smell. Jessica Riley, thank you so much for the super chat. My husband makes fun of me and says I'm watching people do chores. That's so true. But I adore your videos as a city dweller. Thank you. That's chores. Thank you so much for watching us do our chores. I want to talk about, we have a little audience up here. Grace is in here. She's not really supposed to be in here, and she's doing antics, basically trying to distract us. No, she's not. She says, okay, I'll quit talking to her. I recommend that you raise a hog. If you have land to do it, do it. Raising pigs on pasture sounds great and is for some people, but I think that another wonderful and ethical way to raise a pig is to get a reasonable space to put your pig, to build a very solid fence with solid walls. A pallet fence would work really well, and ideally cover the area so it doesn't get mucky, and then keep it heavily covered in straw. It's going to take a lot of straw. If you want a massive volume of compost, and you want a freezer full of good pork, raise a pig near your garden in a reasonably sized pen with a cover on it. It has to have a cover on it, and just load it with straw every single week. You're going to have to load it with straw. You're going to have, I would say do that with 2 pigs, Sow the Land. I never answered Sow the Land's last question. Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah. I'd say that 2 pigs is probably ideal just for their social happiness. I love electric Wholesome Roots. I do like electric. They're so bad with electric, though, because they bury it all the time. So you just got to walk it and pull it out. It doesn't mean you can't use it. That's what we're using now.
Well, electric netting, but electric wire. A lot of people use that very successfully.
What would you like to talk about with pigs? I haven't run out of things to talk about.
You keep going. Well, I just think I tend to think more about how you go into something thinking you know how you're going to do it because you read a book. But then once you do it, you actually learn how you're going to do it. And I think what I would say as far as pigs is, just we so wanted to do pastured pork, and it's really not going to work for us. And that makes us sad because we really want to raise animals a certain way, but we also want to raise pork. And our pigs are totally happy and well taken care of, but they're not pastured. And you know what? That's okay. It's still a lot better than, factory farmed pork. It's just so much better.
Yeah, our pigs eat hay too. Someone mentioned that in a comment. They feed their pigs hay. And there are some really great examples of this. Gosh, I'm not going to remember them. Sugar Mountain Farm, is that right? Sugar Mountain in Vermont, I'm pretty sure. Highly recommend their blog. You're going to have to Google it. I don't think I'm going to link it in the description. Google the blog. If you want to raise pigs, honestly, there's a ton of info there. And they feed their pigs a large majority hay in their ration. Brian Wade, thank you so much. We love you too. I recognize your face because you've commented for a long time on our videos.
Oh, thank you.
And so we do feed our pigs hay, and American guinea hogs will eat hay. They don't really savor it, I would say. At least they savor grass. They love grass. But the hay that is their bedding, which goes in fresh right now in their dry areas, like a couple times a week, they do eat some of that.
Well, and this most recent roll is not the best. The goats don't really like it.
Yeah.
The cow doesn't really like it. Nobody likes it, but it's what we have.
And they will starve if you only put them on hay. Pigs will starve on hay.
Yeah.
They have to have protein. They're basically like people. They have to have a varied diet, protein, carbohydrates, vegetables, and hay.
Someone asked what I think is better, like having a breeding pair or just getting a feeder pig once a year and raising it up. And once again, the answer is going to depend on your place, on your finances, on your goals. And I actually really miss our breeding pair. It makes me really sad that they're gone. And I felt really blessed to have them. And they were just so sweet. And they were kind of like this amazing breeding pair. They're just super sweet. She was a wonderful mother. He was a good dad. He was not aggressive. But it just isn't right for us right now. It's just not practical and for our lives right now. And so that's just, it's everything depends on your situation. That's why you can't look at really two people and say, oh, we should all be doing what this person's doing, because everyone's situation is so different. But thankfully, I did sell the hogs locally, and we know the people that we sold them to. And so I can buy, my goal is to buy feeder pigs from them, actually.
I've watched, some people are talking about the price of feeder pigs. I've watched the price of feeder pigs creep up around here. I bought them, I was buying them when I was 21 for I think they were $25, and they were from like a organic farm. They were like really just solid, totally healthy little pigs. They're kind of premier, and I think they're crept up. I think they're 50 to 60 from that place now, this very same place. And how many years is that? Like
a lot.
12 years ago or something.
You're older than that.
So, yeah, that's true. I just, basically I want to kind of throw out these numbers here. If you're thinking about raising a pig, I highly recommend it as a project. It's not that big of a project to take on. There's always a lot to learn, but if you can kind of figure on, if you're raising, let's talk about just one pig, you could build what you need to build in a weekend with a very large pen area, and or a simple electric setup. You're going to need to feed the pig about 1,000 pounds of food over the next 5 months, and that's going to run you from $200 to $200 up, depending on what you're buying for food and how much you're feeding them. Probably $250 on the cheaper end of food. For like the cheapest, maybe $300 for the cheaper non-GMO food that we've found.
To raise one?
To raise that one pig.
I'd have to look at the numbers. You know, we honestly haven't really.
It's 20 bags of food, $15. Can someone do math?
Oh yeah. No,
how many people are in here? 373. Can someone do math?
Someone did a super chat. Round me not.
Yeah, you gotta check on that girl.
Well, sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you.
Round Mott. Thank you for the super chat. For your trip to Sweden. We're definitely going now. Thank you so much.
Or we might make it to the charcuterie class.
We have 75.
300, thank you. So yeah, it's like $300, $400, depending on the food. It could be, if you're buying organic food, it's a whole different deal.
Whole different. The price difference, you guys, is astronomical.
But just think about this. You can be in and out in 5 months because you're going to raise a wean pig that's about 6 weeks old. You're going to raise it out for 5 more months. It's minimal care, barring emergencies and major issues, and you can have this experience raising your own meat just 5 months later. So anyway, something to think about. It's not that big a project. You do have to be there regularly and have all the responsibilities of keeping a larger animal.
But see, that can also be a benefit of having a breeding pair, even though you have to keep feeding them because obviously you're not going to butcher them. You can sell the extra babies, and depending on the breed, they can have a lot of babies. So that can offset costs as well. So see, that's another, plus to having a breeding pair.
When are we going to kill our pigs?
Well... it's just complicated a little bit. Yeah, we got to figure that out.
Someone asked what the minimum space is for one pig.
We could honestly butcher a pig tomorrow.
Yep, we
We could butcher one pig tomorrow.
So,
or maybe two. But I think we want to make it into a little bit of a community event. And then we're also waiting on some of it for my brother. And I actually meant to call him today about this, but he is moving into a new house and doesn't want us to butcher his pig until he has a freezer in his new house. So, yeah, but I guess we can keep that pig alive. Oh, we also need to get the pigs out of the goat stall. So that needs to happen because our goats will be kidding in April. And Asia boiling. This is unrelated, but Bree, do you think you'll ever do a homeschooling video? I know you've been trying to just enjoy your babies lately, but would love to see that. So maybe I'll make a video about why I'm not making videos. But I'll just tell you guys, I'm probably for now not making videos. I just found that it stressed me out so much. I just couldn't enjoy what I was actually doing. And yeah, so I couldn't actually homeschool because I was videoing it, or I couldn't actually do the things that I was doing because I was videoing it. And my stress levels, to be honest, were so through the roof that it was just stealing my joy. And I had to just make a decision that I wasn't going to make videos anymore. And it has been really good for our family dynamics and our family happiness for mommy to be mommy. Well, mommy's a lot of things, but, you know, all the things that being mommy encompasses. And, yeah. So I think I'll eventually get back to it because I actually really love it. And it makes me feel super creative after I've shot and edited a video. But yeah, I just think that I get really grouchy at my kids and like snap at them and yell at them and stuff. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So that's why I don't make videos. Long-winded.
Yeah. I'm glad you don't make videos. Just, I mean, it was a wonderful creative dynamism that happened then.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe we'll have that back sometime. And we still do, but not in that way. But I'm glad you're not making them. I think everyone's happier.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you're happier. I want to say, we're not quite done yet, but I want to say a huge thank you again to our moderators. And they are Rose from Wholesome Roots. Check out her YouTube channel. Jason from Sow The Land, another YouTube channel. And I think it's Cindy from Part-Time Permies, but she's not identified herself beyond
No,
part-time.
she did.
Oh, she did. Oh, Cindy,
yeah.
sorry. I missed that.
She said Mike was painting.
Mike is painting. I didn't know he was an artist. He's probably painting the bathroom. So.
Oh, thank you, Ashia. I'm saying your name right.
A lot of people have asked what the best breed of pig is, or what breed of pig they should get.
Thank you, Mama Hun.
I don't think we can really answer that. I think that every breed of pig is a good breed. I actually love pigs.
Yeah,
if you were to hang out with me for a few days, you would hear me talking about how much I love pigs. I really love them. I love their personalities. I love their thrift. I like all the different ones. Have you seen these Chinese pigs? I can't remember the names of them. There's some crazy lard pigs that come out of China that are weird shaped. And it's just, they're just wild looking. And then wild pigs, love wild pigs. Anyway, yeah, so if you want landrace pigs, you should get landrace cross. That sounds great. We've never had a landrace. But pigs are great. I honestly think that potbelly pigs, I'm going to say it.
He said this for years, and I'm
going to say it right now. Right here. Potbelly pigs would be great pigs to raise for meat. I've thought about doing it. The reason I haven't pursued it at all is because we have a YouTube channel. That's the reason. They're great lard pigs. And I wouldn't take someone's pet and eat it, except in a pinch. But they are, all pigs are meat breeds. And,
you can eat all pigs, guys. Yeah. I mean, that's the best thing about a pig, right? Is that you can eat it. Am I allowed to say that on YouTube?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Do you think that we will switch from a heritage breed to a faster growing breed, or
Well,
a
lot of
faster
the
growing
large,
breed?
or maybe a larger breed. Like they're almost all heritage breeds.
So I don't have as much experience as Arthur, but in some ways I do. So when we raised some larger, what was the one we raised in our backyard at the first house?
Those were Berkshire crosses.
Okay, so it was a huge hog, and that hog was so mean. I could not even go in there to feed it, and I was afraid of it. I wouldn't go near it. And our pigs now, like, I'm not afraid of them, and that's something that I have come to adore about the American guinea hogs. Their disposition is so gentle and slow. And I wish y'all could have gone to Justin's house in person and seen the two breeds beside each other. He had the red wattle crosses and he had some guinea hogs. Just seeing them together sold me once again on the guinea hogs. I love them. I just love them. I love the history of them. I love the thriftiness of them. I love their disposition. And it doesn't really bother me that they're slower to grow, because we're on a cycle now where we've got meat coming in now. We've got meat for next year. So we just need to get some piglets coming up. What did we say? When did we say we needed to get piglets?
Not for a long time.
Like this fall or
if
something.
If we're buying a breed that we're going to raise out in 6 months, we get them in a year from now.
Yeah.
For
So
a year
I'm talking
after.
about guinea hogs, though. We're going to get those again. So anyway, sorry, I was losing it. I'm giving you my thoughts on the guinea hog. I've just come to love them. And everything, personally, everything on our farm needs to be kid-friendly. I need to be able to trust that my kids are safe. Obviously, we give them restrictions around the animals, but, I mean, mostly my kids are obedient, but they're not always, and I don't know when a kid's going to disobey. Or, for example, today I've told the kids they can't go out into the pasture by themselves. Brownie has just gotten really frisky, and so I want them to be with an adult, you know, and so I need and want every animal on our farm to be an animal that my children can be around. So that's my spiel on the guinea hogs. That's what I know the most about from just lots of reading and following people that have guinea hogs on different social medias, reading about them, listening to them, and I just love them.
I think I've grown to love them too. I will say, if you want to fill your freezer fast and you don't want to keep animals for a year and a half or so, don't raise American guinea hogs. They're for slow growing, and I think the ideal place for an American guinea hog is with someone who wants to try to feed them without buying a lot of food. I think that's the ideal picture, because you feed them your food scraps, you feed them some hay, you feed them a little bit every day for 1.5 years or so, and they'll be up at butcher weight. If you want to fill your freezer fast, get a larger, faster growing breed.
Yeah, so it's, once again, like we've talked about, it's about your goals and what's going to work on your property.
And as one of our Ecuadorian viewers pointed out, if you're intimidated by any of these, you can do what they do in Ecuador and eat guinea pigs.
Is that true?
Yeah, someone just said in Ecuador, here we eat guinea pigs, which of course they do, and it's not pork, but I hear they're good. It's 10 o'clock.
It's 10 o'clock. We didn't cover nearly as much as we would have liked.
That's fine, though. We
There's
can do this
so
again.
much to talk about. Like, why we don't have a milk cow yet. Y'all keep asking that question. There's so many really good reasons. But just know that the reason is wisdom. That's why we don't have a milk cow yet.
Jamie Carl, thank you so much. Seed money for the garden. I'm so excited to see how different it will be this year. It will be different. Well, guys, I think we're going to shut this down. I think it's time. It's 10 o'clock. It's bedtime.
10. Yeah. We are thinking about doing this regularly.
Not this. Not this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're thinking about doing a regular live stream. So we'll let you know about our plans for that.
I don't know if we're going to do weekly. We may do weekly. We may do every other week.
I think it would be every other week. Yeah. Thank you. You can't eat the grass. I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you, everyone, for joining us. We appreciate all the comments.
We just so appreciate you guys. Can I just say that? Like, you guys make YouTube fun. Thank you. Thank you so much for making YouTube worth it. We just appreciate you guys.
There's Life Goes North.
I love Life Goes North. Check out Life Goes North, you guys.
All right, friends. Thank you so much. And I wish we could have answered more questions and talked longer, but there will be another time. So you have a great